Okay, we're here at the Stafford Hotel in London's Mayfair. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I'm being joined by Victor Chandler, one of the legends of gambling, and I'm so delighted that you'll be the first of our interviewees. Would you like to tell us about some of the background of Victor Chandler as a company and Victor Chandler as a man?
I started the business in '74,
Right.
which was by a tragic accident because my father died at 50. So I had a mother and two sisters at school to keep. So
Right.
and I was enjoying myself living in Spain at the time, sort of working in the hotel business, but was dragged into the industry.
Because your father was a bookmaker
Was a
himself?
bookmaker, yeah.
Okay.
He had betting shops, big high roller based credit office and the race courses.
Okay.
And my grandfather had been a bookmaker, and he launched Walthamstow Stadium.
So the Chandlers have been bookmakers through 3 generations.
Well, we believe, my great-grandfather was a bookmaker, a street bookmaker in the East End.
That was when they had to hide, wasn't it?
Yes.
And run.
And ran fast.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so you got that going because you had to.
Yes.
But what stage did you decide that it was not something that you had to do in order to provide for the family, but it's something that you were really going to do successfully?
Well, I think the big turning point for us was, strangely enough, the Jubilee. We saw the emergence of a lot more people with a lot more money.
So that was the mid-70s, mid to late 70s.
That's right.
You got high rollers in. You're making most of your money out of racing.
I mean, racing was our predominant interest until the '94 World Cup,
Yeah.
which was, there was an enormous change in my thinking as much as anything else. What the specific moment was, we got a call from an acquaintance of mine asking if he could deposit a large sum of money with us in cash, and I said, well, where's it coming from? And he said, it's a friend of mine in Hong Kong who wants to bet on the World Cup, but he doesn't want to pay tax, so I'm going to be placing the bets at the racecourse. And he arrived at my office with £1 million in a suitcase, of which he gave us.
Joke. £1 million in a suitcase. What does £1 million in a suitcase look like?
I never saw it because I was on the way to the races, but he gave my office manager £500,000.
Yeah, as you do.
As one does, yeah. And took the rest to Newbury. About half an hour later, the office was raided by the armed police.
Oh, right.
There was a roadblock on the motorway, and he was stopped and arrested. And it took him 2 days to prove the money was legitimate and had come from Hong Kong. And the man seriously wanted to bet those sorts of amounts during the World Cup.
Did he succeed in his investments, or did you keep the money?
We kept most of the money, and that's what really changed my outlook on soccer, especially.
It's the sort of anecdotes, which I'm sure you have hundreds of, are fantastic for our viewers to listen to. I'm sure you've been asked this a million times. What's the biggest bet you've ever taken and you've ever placed?
Biggest bet, it's all relative, isn't it, to your pocket? And I think it's much more terrifying when you've got limited resources. Not to say that we've got unlimited resources now, but when you've got very limited resources when you're starting out, and when a
squeaky bum time, as Alex Ferguson calls it. Yeah, okay, right.
We've taken bets as big as £8 million off of someone in the night recently, but I have less concern about those now than I did about £2,000 bets, possibly in the 70s.
Yeah, you have to have nerves of steel, I would imagine.
And being worried about talking to the bank manager on Monday, that was the thing.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be murder, speaking to a bank manager, trying to get finance for a gambling business. No, honestly, the results are going to go in our favour soon. Seriously, Mr. Bank Manager, I just can't see it working somehow.
And if you find a bank manager that's a punter, then...
Ah, there you go. Find their Achilles heel. Yeah, all of this stuff is good. Tell me about the, you're now BetVictor, of course. The company has changed, so you're now just using your first name. I mean, I've always enjoyed betting, I have to say, when I know who the person I'm betting against is. Has that always been a conscious?
Yeah, and I think we still try and keep that feeling within the company because I'm still very much hands-on.
Yeah.
It's when you've got 400 odd people, it's much more difficult to know everyone by name, but I do try and keep abreast of who's in the company, and I do try and walk round as much as possible in the offices. And I think it's the idea of customer service that we still, that personal customer service. You know, I believe we're in the entertainment business more than anything else, and
I can agree with that completely. It's supposed to be a good laugh, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what we try and make it. And when what losing £200,000 or £300,000 a year to some people doesn't mean a lot, and we're there to take it off them in the nicest possible way.
That's lovely. It's like the silent assassin, isn't it? The nicest possible way. You did that very charmingly, Phil. That's great. Right, I'm going to do this quick fire round with you. Brogues or Oxfords?
Oxfords.
Bentley or Rolls Royce?
Neither.
Oh, brilliant. Champagne or beer?
Champagne.
Ascot or Dubai?
Ascot, definitely.
Football or horse racing?
Horse racing.
Okay, and finally, what odds would you lay me for Victor Chandler to be made a knight at any stage within the next 5 years?
A very big price.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you deserve one. It's been really good to meet you. I appreciate it.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you.